There's a remarkable experiment that is being conducted in Santa Barbara. There is an observatory, the Las Cumbres Observatory, that is being privately funded, and they're going to be, and they have started to, array telescopes around the world to have simultaneous monitoring of various transient events in nature, follow-up events in astronomy. This is not completely unique in the American context, where a lot of astronomy has been privately funded. There's a great tradition from Palomar, Mount Wilson, Yerkes Observatory, etc. Today we have Rachel Ross, who's going to represent that effort and describe what they are planned to do, how they plan to do it, and other aspects of the Las Cumbres experiment. When she gets her PowerPoint up, we can proceed. You can shift in your seats during this time.
So right now I'm passing around the brochure. So there's a stack going on each side, and then Jessica in the back has another stack. In case it doesn't fit all the way to the back.
Just clip it right. That'll work. Stick that in your pocket.
Cool. All right.
Okay, now you can stop shifting. Rachel.
All right. So hi, everybody. So I'm from Las Cumbres Observatory Global Telescope Network, and it's a mouthful, but let's see here. So basically, who are we? We're a nonprofit observatory, actually located right across the street over there. And this is our group shot of most of the people in our office using our cool infrared camera. So very fun. So our specialities are time domain astronomy, so extrasolar planets, which we fit in very nicely this year, supernova, GRBs, anything that requires lots of observations over a long period of time. So what are we doing? Well, we're making a network that's going to go all around the world. 0.4 meter telescopes, 1 meter telescopes, and we have two 2-meter telescopes. And all of these are going to have research grade instrumentation, CCDs, and so forth. Over on this side, we've got our 2-meter telescope in Hawaii. And if you could look really closely right there, we've got, and on the other side, we've got 2.4 meter telescopes that are currently in the commissioning phases. And the 0.4 meter telescopes is going to make up a bulk of the educational time that will be available on these telescopes. So the education is going to be driven mostly through our website. We're going to be an online-based observatory. We're going to have all of our resources online, and it's going to be community-driven. So it's free to register, and once you're registered, you'll be able to upload your own resources, participate in forums, comment on other resources, say this worked really well in my class, well, but this part didn't, and then rate different things. So it'll be a very active community, which is what we're going to go for. And there you go, I just said that. So these are just some more pictures of the telescopes that we have. We've got this one right here, which is a 0.8 meter, which is in San Ynez Valley, right over the hills here. That'll be mostly used for local education and as well as on our network. This is our site in Hawaii, actually, covered in snow, currently being attacked by some imperial walkers. It's still there, so we won. Over here, we've got our 0.4 meter telescope, which is actually sitting in our parking lot right now in a custom designed dome, and that's being commissioned right now and tested. This is going to be our site in the Canary Islands on Tenerife, and so in a couple of years, I'll actually have a telescope picture there. This is a computer drawing of our site in Chile, so we're going to have 3 1 meters, and then over here, we're going to have 2 pairs of our 0.4 meter telescopes. And then right here is actually an image from our webcam of our telescope in Australia. And I actually took a screenshot of this while some students were observing, actually some students in Goleta while they were observing. So that was kind of fun. All right, so where are these telescopes going to go? All over the world. So we're going to have 24/7 sky coverage, northern and southern hemisphere. So we're going to see everything all the time. All right. So why are we doing this? Well, for teachers like you guys, eventually we're going to have some telescope time to give you guys that you'll be able to use in your classrooms. And we're working on making some research projects for you guys to work on. Some projects that we've already got started and going, mostly in the UK. We've got a microlensing program that started, I believe, last year. And we're having another go with it this year. The season's starting up soon. We're also going to do some supernova project, asteroids projects. We've got some open cluster projects already going. And so these are two examples. Right here is a binary light curve actually done by an 8th grader a couple years ago here in Goleta. And she actually went on to the state science fair and ended up getting 4th. So we're very excited about that. And then over here is actually some data taken, most of it taken by astronomers, but it's kind of hard to see the colors, but the blue and the green dots, data points on there, were actually taken by UK school kids and added to this. So they're actually doing the real science to go along with it. All right, some more why. Astronomy is awesome, right? And you could actually put it in a lot of different places, and it's a great way to introduce other sciences as well, because astronomy you can relate to just about everything. So they'll be able to do real science research using, cutting-edge technology. I think it just said that it fits in nicely with the stems, and you can put astronomy everywhere. Astronomy is also in at least the California state standards. What do we got? 3rd, 5th, 8th, and Earth Science. That's direct. Those are specifically astronomy standards, but again, you can fit it in physics and math and chemistry, wherever. So we don't want to make more astronomers out there. Most of us have a hard time finding jobs anyway, especially in this economy. But we want to teach the skills such as critical thinking and self-motivated learning and things that will be useful in anything they do, and to get another, to just look at the world differently around them. And these are actually 2 science fair projects that taken by Kim Miller students this year. They did open cluster photometry and actually studied a cluster that has not been observed very much. And so what they did is they worked with a couple of our astronomers. They got some time on our telescopes. They did all the photometry, and they made an HR diagram. And they were able to date the cluster or age the cluster while comparing it to other known clusters. And they did a really, really great job. So we're waiting to hear more about that, where they're going. I think they're going to county next. Okay. So when will this become available? Well, I know every year I'm up here, and every year I keep saying one more I know, but this time we actually have 0.4 meter telescopes built and out in the fields being tested right now. We're getting ready, some more ready to be shipped out, and we're also getting ready to ship out some of our 1 meters by the end of this year. So hopefully, next school year we actually will have some time to give you guys.
Almost sound like NASA.
Close. And our current date is about 2013. We aim to have this network completed, but as you guys are well aware, that date keeps getting pushed back. And also along the bottom are some images actually taken by our 0.4 meter telescope in our parking lot in a very bright area. So these are just some of the things that you'll be able to expect with the telescopes there. All right. So how can you guys participate? Well, you can check out our website, which I encourage everybody to do, since that's where everything is going to be. We've got emails, we've got contact pages on the website. We're even on Facebook and Twitter. We're not very active on them, but as we get going, we will be more active. Pretty much what you need a computer, at least a halfway decent computer, a halfway decent internet connection. I have done this on dial-up before, and it is not very fun, but it is doable. And you just need imagination, you need to be motivated, and just want to do this. And we'll always keep you in the dark. So. Yeah, questions? Questions are good.
This is more of a comment, but you pointed out that you're using these telescopes in the parking lot here in Goleta. I should point out that the director of Las Cumbres is Tim Brown, who is the fellow who was working with David Charbonneau, who took that first transit light curve of HG 29458B in the parking lot of High Altitude Observatory in Boulder when Tim was there before here. So you're keeping up a grand tradition of doing great parking lots so strong.
There we go.
Yes, I just wanted to make another comment. Some of you may be interested in how this all came about. And down at our community college in Santa Barbara City College, we interviewed Wayne Rosing just about a month or so ago. And it was just as of 10:30 last night, I got an email saying that it's all up on YouTube. So there are 9 little segments there where Wayne Rosing is actually explaining what he's doing, how he's doing it, and really in a lot more detail. Very, very interesting person when you have someone who's thinking in a way where there are no boundaries. He and his foundation have 60 people on staff, 19 PhDs on staff, and have funded this for a 20-year period. So there's much more to this, and I think you'd be really interested in taking a look at the YouTube segments.
I'll have to look those up.
Which telescopes besides the ones, the .4s that you're installing all over the place? You mentioned Yerkes, and like what scope are they? Are you use 24 at Yerkes or?
We're not using Yerkes Observatory.
Oh, I thought you said Yerkes. Okay, never mind.
It's okay. I may have been mumbling or something.
Okay.
No, we're not going to have one at Yerkes. Sorry, I'm trying to understand now your question.
What other place? I don't know if I actually got to a question. What other places will they be installed besides the Canaries and Hawaii and?
Pretty much that map that I had earlier. No, backwards. So this map right here, this is pretty much where our telescopes are going to be. So we've got our site in Hawaii, which is going to be the 2-meter and at least 2.4 meters. We're trying to see if we can get a 1 meter there. The site right here in North America, it's kind of being moved around a little bit. We're not entirely sure where we want to go. We're kind of debating between maybe Mexico or Texas or New Mexico, somewhere maybe in that region. We're not entirely sure. We've already got our site in Chile, as I showed you guys the drawing there, and that's going to have the 3 1 meters and the probably about 4.4 meters. Canary Islands, we got our site in South Africa. The one in Asia also, it's kind of a moving target. We're not entirely sure where we're going to put it there. And we do have our 2 meter in Siding Spring Observatory in Eastern Australia, but there's also a site in Western Australia that we might be interested. So either way, we're going to have 24/7 sky coverage.
Will our students, how will they use the data? Are they going to be doing visual observing, or will this just be downloaded data for the kids to interpret? Exactly how will our students be able to use this?
Well, the students, currently at the moment, it's pretty much UK students using this. This is what the project was originally built for. And most of the time, they just do real-time observing, and then they download the data, and they do what they do with it. They do a lot of color imaging. They do, we're trying to get them more, pushing them more to do real science. They do, the past couple of years, we've had asteroid rotation projects and open cluster projects. We've got them started on the microlensing projects. But we're also going. But once the network starts getting going more, we want to try to push more a little bit towards the queue-based schedule. So they'll have to write a little proposal. We'll submit them in the queue. They'll get an email when their data's done. They can go download it and then do their research on it.
Any other questions? Well, thank you, Rachel, once again. The next thing on the schedule is lunch. I'm sure that they should be ready by now. I'll remind people that there will be a scientist, speakers that are participating here, as well as some participants in our workshop, as well as others at each table, and you should take advantage of their presence to ask them any type of question you'd like. So let's thank the speakers this morning, all of them. go to lunch and reconvene at 1:30.